Yes, this is Mr. Controversy, and this is the infamous 3-point conversion station. Keep it locked. Yes. We are back inside the 3-point conversion sports lounge. Mr. Controversy here. Did you miss me? Another Saturday morning with a lot of sports, a lot of sports talk, a lot of gossip. Well, old church lady will be happy to hear this show today. Juicy, as they say. Welcome, y'all, to a great show. It's a dreary, grayish championship type Saturday today. It's raining and everything. Perfect, man, if you're a football fan. But anyway, like I said, welcome to the 3-point conversion sports lounge. Man, I'm so happy to be here. Y'all don't know, sometimes having this show is therapy, you know, for us. You know, it's takes our mind off things, but then too, man, like I said, I can't wait to get to it. There's so much to talk about. There's so much to get into. And first of all, I got to say what's up to my engineer. What up, G?
Yo.
And you already know I'm not doing this by myself. I had to call him one more time, just one more time. Talk to my co-host, The Intellectual. He was giving me a thumbs up, said he should be back soon. So looking like next week. So he was questionable, but we sat him out just for precaution. And we got to bring in a superstar. There's nothing better than bringing in a superstar to replace another star, and that's my man, H.O. What up, H.O.?
What's happening then? Saturday morning, dreary. A lot to talk about on this Saturday. No golfing today.
No golfing
today, so more eyes and more opinions will be on Twitter about their college football teams and things of that nature, but I'm sure we'll get to that. Big weekend for Atlanta sports. Atlanta United doing their thing, and Georgia possibly going to the 4 once again. So got a lot to look forward to.
Stop it. Anyway,
it's for the Atlanta people. I mean, we here in Atlanta, so we got to give them an appetizer,
right?
You know, some
right.
cheese sticks. You know, some
spinach
dip. We got to give them something.
All of that.
Yeah, we got to give them something.
Man,
so.
we got to give them something, man. So look, speaking of giving you something, we have a great show lineup for you. We're talking my man Kareem Hunt, and we know it, Mr. Hunt. We know what's going on. If you haven't heard, you need to, I don't know,
get
a life or something, because this is big news that came out yesterday. We're going to get into that. If you don't know, you just stay tuned. Also, we'll have to talk about, like H.O. said, championship week, championship day, a lot of big games, 3 games in particular. I mean, anything can happen, but these 3 games really going to decide that last final spot in college football. Also, what's going on in the NBA? It's so weird this year. Like, it doesn't feel right. This is just, I don't understand it, man. It doesn't make sense, but what's going on in the NBA. It just seems like it's a dream or something. Like, I don't know. Like I'm watching kids play 2K or something, 2K, whatever it's called. Like, it just seems weird. It doesn't feel right. And then we're going to talk about this Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury match. Big fight tonight. See what happens with that. And then, of course, we have Mr. Damian Adams coming in from The Real Deal with Damian Adams and the 3-point conversion boxing analyst. And then we have weekend injury report with Dr. Donald Fowler. He's going to come in and give us some updates on injury reports, on injuries, and talk about how it can affect your fantasy team or just your team, this period, if that's your team, the team that you like. So make sure you check us out on 1100 The Real locally, and also we're on iHeartRadio, 1100 WWE, TuneIn, Radio Now, also Facebook Live on the 3-Point Conversion page. Make sure you check us out. It's time to get to these quick hits. Let's get it. All right. Appreciate Sherm Beats for the sick beats. Let me tell you who is sick. Kareem Hunt is sick right now. Kansas City Chiefs running back Kareem Hunt was released by the Chiefs after the video surfaced of him pushing and kicking a woman. But before we get into that, I'm not even going to get into Kareem and all of that. I want to talk about the team quickly. Do you think that Spencer Ware could come in and keep this train, this engine going, or will it be a slight downfall?
Slight drop off. He's been in the organization for quite some time. Not necessarily in the Tecmo Bowl offense that we're looking at right now, but he's been in Kansas City before. He has to step up because Jamal Charles kept getting hurt, right, and he's stepped in and filled in before. The production will drop off. Not sure if he's that back out of the backfield catching screens. I think he's more of a power runner in between the tackles and things of that nature. Keep keep you honest type of running back where they can play action pass or whatever the case may be. But this is big. You talking about a big three or a big four, mm-hmm, or Kareem was pretty much a part of that explosiveness. Because
you had to be honest. You had to watch out for him.
And not just up the middle or not just running between the tackles, but even out of the backfield.
Right.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be a drop-off. Spencer Ware is more of a power back, and he's not really known for his for catching the ball out of the backfield. He has 14 catches this year, but only 53 for his career. Mm-hmm. But so it'll be interesting to see how the Chiefs actually use him. It's probably going to be running back by committee,
right? Because
they have to do it. They also have Damian Williams and Darrell Williams, so it's going to be by committee. I mean, Ware is the name that we know.
Exactly.
He's the waiver wire,
right,
for all the football players. So, but it's going to be a slight drop off. I think the strategy will change a little bit, but I think Ware is good enough to where you have to still respect the right, play action, and, all the things that they normally do.
Right. Oh, real quickly, just came in that the Kansas City Chiefs are talking to Jamal Charles. I'm just kidding. Everybody talks to Jamal Charles every time somebody get hurt. I don't know why. And
they wonder, does he have anything
right
left?
Well, they didn't use it all. He's been playing for 8 teams after the Chiefs. I don't know. Anyway, I was just playing, y'all. Moving on. Ohio State AD Gene Smith denied a report that Urban Meyer is stepping down after 2019. Get this, though, H.O. Yesterday, when Meyer was asked about stepping down, and the guy he said, you can comment or not. It's been reports that you're stepping down after the 2019 season. What are your thoughts, whatever? What did he say?
Listen.
He said no comment.
Exactly. And I think we talked about this on this show early in the season. How Urban Meyer probably felt like he was dropped in the grease. Mm-hmm. He felt like he didn't do anything wrong because he took it up to the chain of command and left it alone.
Right.
But now that the pressure is mounting and he had to fall in the grease, this is our annual Urban Meyer, medical reasons for retirement for the second time. And I believe he's going to step down, in my opinion. I think Urban Meyer is just as stubborn as he can be. And I just feel like he doesn't like the way he was treated.
Well, I really think that G looking funny. I think that the committee is probably going to vote them in some way so they can keep Urban Meyer at Ohio State happy because college football is much better when the Big Ten is.
That's going to be a fallout.
It's going to be funny looking like every time he's bent over at the waist or he looks flustered.
Mm-hmm.
Every time we're just going to wonder, is he on the verge of a heart attack?
Right. You roll.
Exactly.
That's going to be his out. You roll, man. Anyway,
well, he was having headaches against Rutgers, remember?
Yeah.
Rutgers? Come on. He's going to step down. If Rutgers, of all teams.
Before the Michigan game, they said he was lightheaded. And then when they won, he said he felt great. So we're going to see. Depends on how they playing. Moving on.
That boy's stressed.
Right. Cleveland Indians deal all-star catcher Yan Gomes. Look, they deal him to the Nationals for pitcher Jeffrey Rodriguez, minor league outfielder Daniel Johnson, and a player to be named. My question to you is, now, with Nationals getting him, are the Nationals trying to? They're going to let Harper go, right?
He's not signing back. It's not up to them to let him go.
He's not. But do you think? Are they saying, okay, we're going to try to rebuild as fast as we can, or do you think they feel like it's a wrap for the next 3 or 4 years?
I'm trying to see how polite I can put this.
Hey, we tell the truth.
They have blown several opportunities with the roster, the pitching, the catching. They've had everything that you can have, and they've not succeeded. And I'm pretty sure they offered Harper well over $300 million or $300 million, whatever. He turned it down, and now they go out and get an all-star catcher, which they just signed Kurt Suzuki from the Braves a week ago as a backup. So you mean what the catchers? The two catchers now are going to be the backbone of your team,
right?
I mean, it's the Washington Nationals have just sucked it up over the last 3 to 4 years with the roster that they've had. It's a mess. So, are they trying to rebuild? They just trying to stay above water. If I have to say so.
Right. Okay. Moving on. Last night, like nobody cared because of what was going on in the NFL, but number 11, the Washington Huskies defeated the Utah Utes 10-3. They get a chance to go to the Rose Bowl. I don't like. Remember the good old days when a good team, like it was really whoever played in the Rose Bowl had a chance to win a national championship.
Bruh, this is the way we're going with this.
Like
let's do it. Let's be real with this. How many people actually watch this game?
Right.
How many people actually watch Washington and Utah?
Like I told you,
the state of Washington, the state of Utah.
Yeah, they probably didn't. So I told you, man.
10-3.
10-3, bro.
Bro, who
took the under made a little bit of money.
Exactly. The paint that dried on my wall last night was more exciting than watching this game. Listen, we've said all season the Pac-12 has just, and Lynn Swan keeping Clay. Listen, it's so much we can talk about with the Pac-12, but that 10-3, that's not a good thing.
And the only touchdown was a defensive touchdown.
Yeah, and they in the Rose Bowl.
And they played in Santa Clara where the weather is pretty
nice,
beautiful.
And they're in the Rose Bowl.
That's sad.
Moving on. Joakim Noah, my dude, has reached a deal with the Memphis Grizzlies, which he will be signed next week. He will sign that deal next week. Is this more of just? I mean, it could work, I guess, because Memphis are playing well. I mean, but is this just a trial to see if he can play? It's the only team that really was looking to have him besides Tibbs.
I saw the workout on Twitter the other day.
Now look, was he running? If this how you know, was he running with his head when he runs with his head swinging? Oh yeah, he's in shape. But if he just running, then he gotta have a head doing.
If you saw Memphis play last night and you saw how they beat Brooklyn, I think he can actually fit in because that fits what Joakim does.
But you know what? He'll be able to help the young kid, Jackson.
Right. Especially in practice.
Yeah.
He can be that veteran leader that Zebo was for a long time.
Is that what it's like now? The NBA is turning to where everybody's looking for NBA vets. Remember before you didn't have that, but now it's like you see a lot of teams signing NBA vets.
Well, you still had that, but you didn't have as many young players, but you had a lot of veterans. But now it's more teams have more young players.
Right. Well, because most of the old players was in Sacramento. Remember? Like, I don't know if it was
they were all
retreat.
Like I don't feel like the Kings have had an adult on that team in about 10 years.
Last year, remember they had Vince Carter, Zebo.
Yeah, they tried, and George Hill.
They
tried it, but how many adults are on the team now?
Right. I don't know. None.
I guess it's trying to translate and relate to the younger players, and that's.
And speaking of translating, Dwight Howard is leaning towards surgery for his gluteus muscle and could be out 2 to 3 months. So,
what a cricket that.
So, do you think this is? Do you think this is gonna hurt his career? Like, should he give it up?
Like we said on Wednesday, he should just go ahead and retire, because the more he stays in the league, the more these rumors comes out, the more he's continually looking like a dinosaur in the league, the more of his Hall of Fame chances go down the drain. Give it up. Let's go. And I said before, this is the same guy that said coming out of high school, going into the NBA, that he wants the NBA to be saved and we should change the logo to Jesus. And he has a numerous amount of kids all over the place. Obviously, the NBA got the best of him.
He said he wanted the logo changed to Jesus?
Yeah. They should change the logo.
Or for have or a cross, something like
that.
Okay. And I can hear somebody that's deep in church hearing that. Hey! All right, man. Look, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Devin Baker, and this is your Sports News Break. The Atlanta Falcons look to get back to the winning column when they host Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. Quarterback Joe Flacco is still listed as doubtful for Sunday's game, and the Falcons are on a current 3-game losing streak. Over to the Hawks, suffering their second straight loss in a row last night to Oklahoma City Thunder, 124-109. John Collins led with 19 points and 11 rebounds. The number 4 ranked Georgia Bulldogs are gearing to face number 1 ranked Alabama Crimson Tide at Mercedes-Benz Stadium 4 p.m. today. Georgia can lock themselves into place in the playoffs with a win. Atlanta United have advanced to their first MLS Cup match this past Thursday. They will host the Portland Timbers next Saturday at 8 p.m. at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Winner takes the cup. Make sure to follow 3-Point Conversion for all your major sports news and updates. It's where fans' opinions matter.
There's a lot going on in the world, and your world is always changing. That's why it's important to stay connected. The latest news, the latest entertainment, the newest music. If it's in the air or on there, it can be in the palm of your hand, wherever you are, with the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Over 1,500 live radio stations from across the country, and over 15 million songs to create your own custom stations. Text IHR to 45495 to download the app or listen at iHeartRadio.com. Standard text and data rates apply.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your girl, Kelsey Nicole Nelson, and you're listening to the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Stay tuned. Gonna be a great show.
Yes. We are back inside the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge. It's your man, Mr. Controversy, here with H.O.
Yeah.
And this next segment, the hot topic, is brought to you by Cindycuts Barbershop, located on 3000 Chapel Hill Road, Suite 206, Douglasville, Georgia. Make sure you check them out, get you a fresh cut. Going to enjoy a great time talking sports, politics, women, what's going on in entertainment. Might get to play you some chess. Just a lot going on, man. It's a great shop, no empty chairs. Shout out to Dwayne Chambers. You can follow him. He's the barber all the way at the end when you walk in on the left. You can follow him on Instagram at Simha the Barber. That's SIMHATHEBARBER. And also, I want to give a shout out to my man Frank. What up, Frank? Talked all that mess in fantasy football. Ain't do nothing. All right, so this next segment is a hot topic, and we're talking Kareem Hunt. Man, if you're watching on Facebook Live, you're about to see the video. If you're listening, you want to go watch the video again, it's on. It's crazy, man. You know, my question is really why? Like when will we learn, man? Like, you know, I was talking to a good friend last night, and at first I was like, well, you know, when you're in the heat of moment and stuff like that, you know, I feel sorry. Not sorry for him, but it's like it's messed up, and like he went ballistic. But you look at it like, bruh, you could have controlled yourself. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing. It's like a sad situation, and I almost feel like you got baited into it. But my question is, how or when will they learn? Like, when? I mean, we saw Reuben Foster, his situation. We'll get into that later on, but this situation right here, you know, you push her. I mean, come on, man. Like, what's your thoughts, sir?
Emotions. Emotions are or can be one of the worst things we could concede to. When you get to a certain level in life, there's just certain things you just cannot do anymore. Certain places you just have to refrain from. Certain people that you have to keep in or out of your circle. It's just a matter of just being aware. We have to move our emotions to become more aware of what's going on around us. And you have to know that everybody in this world is a reporter now. Mm-hmm. In today's world. Everybody is a reporter. Every time you go somewhere, there's cameras. And we can learn a lot from this, and he should have learned a lot from this. but more than anything, TMZ is everywhere.
Bruh.
TMZ
I kind of wish
everywhere.
I kind of wish they were back
Bro,
in the 80s so we could find out what happened to a
listen,
lot of stuff.
because if TMZ was out when Jordan was in the play,
What?
And because of that, I think this still looks bad on the NFL, because I felt like TMZ got the tape, put the tape out all in a span of like 20 minutes.
right?
Right.
And this incident happened in February,
right?
and the NFL knew about it. The Chiefs knew about it. And if there was, like, how long did it take for the NFL or the team to know that there was camera footage, that there was video footage? And it took all this time for it to come out. While like the incident itself is awful, this still looks bad on the NFL, and I have no reason to believe that they care about any kind of domestic violence issues or anything that is related to something like this.
Right.
The NFL still doesn't care, because they just shuffled their feet on this.
Right.
Like if you go back to with Reuben Foster, with Ezekiel Elliott, that was over a 2-year period.
Jameis Winston.
With Jameis Winston, that happened a year and a half ago before they handed down any kind of discipline. So the NFL being so slow on this, they don't care. The NFL does not care about these issues with that happen with women or anything like that.
So go ahead.
What's the common denominator in all of these incidents?
What, TMZ? What?
Young black athletes.
Oh yeah, of course.
And I'm not trying to make this be. We just keeping it real, right? Mm-hmm. The NFL could have bought that tape. They could go to TMZ. You have enough money.
Well, it wasn't even like just getting it from TMZ. It would just be like, okay, we need to review the tape for this, and if the police are investigating it and everything, that wouldn't be. I wouldn't think that would be a problem for them to at least view the tape after the incident happened. But you let Kareem Hunt tell this story, and you just take his side without any real evidence. And like I said, I felt like TMZ got the tape yesterday, put it out yesterday. It was the first time anybody saw anything.
The NFL been bad.
And then the
about
NFL
this.
And the Chiefs reacted to that.
Right.
Saying that, he lied to us. Well, you could have known, you could have found out 9 months ago if he lied to you.
But that's the thing. I'm get back to Kareem Hunt, but I do feel like that if they wanted the tape, they would have got the tape.
Exactly.
They don't want the tape, and that's what I was saying. Like, quickly, I watched this. I watched the 30 for 30 with Bobby Knight. It was real good.
Right.
And long story short, basically, I forgot the guy's name who got choked out, whatever. And
Neil Reed.
Yep. Neil Reed. And the thing is, nobody believed him. Indiana tried to shun it away, whatever. Everybody's talking about that's why he left. He's soft and all of that. Then when they got the tape, I'm wondering if it was. I don't know how he got the tape, but he got the tape. With and he got the tape, and then he showed Indiana the AD and all of their, high up and all of them, and they looked at it and he said the first thing they said was, "Where did you get this tape?" And then they walked out like nothing was happening. Next thing you know, Bobby Knight is suspended. Then he gets fired. They knew about the tape. The thing is, the NFL Chiefs, they don't want anybody to know. The reason why they got fired, because it came out. The reason why he got released, because it came out.
Public pressure, and that's the thing. They more concerned about losing money. Now, let's go back. Let's talk about this. And I know we getting off the Kareem Hunt thing, but you making a great point about how these tapes and the evidence and all this other kind of stuff and how the organizations and the teams react to something. Listen, whatever he said, whatever he did, he didn't do anything different other than you just said it. Because how we can just go back a few years ago when they were talking about how the Patriots were filming the Jets.
Right.
I mean, did we really actually see any evidence of that, or did we? How bad was that? If it was some tape, what happened to the organization, or what happened to? They didn't suspend Belichick. They didn't suspend nobody else, but it was some evidence there.
Right.
So, the NFL kind of choose how and who they want to make a scapegoat, and kind of just do what they want to do.
Now, okay, so we know it's bad. You know what he did. He shoved a young lady, and when she was on the floor, he gave her a little kick. Now, my question is, with all of this going on, a lot of people are trying to compare this to Ray Rice. Do you think this gets to that level, or is it just
no? Because the Ray Rice video was a lot worse, and it
was the first,
right? But the way that it's still similar is that the league and the team reacted after the video came out, when clearly they could have viewed that
right
when it happened. Because with Ray Rice, that was that over a year later, or at least 6 months later?
Yeah. After they suspended him for 2 games.
So they suspended for 2 games. The tape comes out, public outrage. Okay, we have to make it indefinitely. Right. And then they come up with the 6-game rule.
Right.
So the NFL is always being reactive
right.
instead of proactive.
So now, what do y'all think? Do y'all think he gets suspended because he's not coming back for the rest of this year? Do you think he gets suspended just 6 games or a year or what?
But he got to get taken off that list first.
Right.
Yeah, he's been put on. Yeah, he's been put on the list. So that's indefinite.
Yeah, that's that
right.
Roger Goodell list.
Yeah, and then too. So it might be the end of the year, and then they suspend him. But the thing is, it's really not about the suspension because Ray Rice was suspended for a year. It's more so, will anybody go after him?
Because he's released, and basically
someone's going to pick him up.
You think Washington's going after him? Yeah.
It really wouldn't be a surprise.
They did, right, because they picked up Ruben.
Even though Ruben probably won't play at all.
Yeah, he's not going to play. That looks bad for the NFL, too.
But what if he gets off one more time? Which he was dumb for bringing her there. Because remember, this is the same chick, this is the same lady, I'm sorry, that lied. Apparently, that's what I'm hearing. Let me know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm hearing that this was the same lady that lied to him. Lied about him. He flew her up there. That's what I'm hearing. And they get into it again. What credibility does she have? He did get arrested this time, but still, what credibility does she have,
Yeah, he don't have a good track record. His track record don't help him in this.
Yeah, it's like, bro, you just
3 arrests in 1 year, 1 season.
Right.
So, yeah, his track record doesn't help. But, for Kareem Hunt, man, I just think that it's, you're young. You got your whole career ahead of you. Mm-hmm. And this is what it has come to. You didn't even get to a contract. Right. You didn't even get to the big payday.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part about it. So I hope and pray that he gets off that list and gets a second chance. But when you look at players like Ray Rice, Kaepernick, it doesn't look good.
No, it doesn't, man.
And I'm just gonna be honest, it just does not look good.
And the sad thing is, I'll just leave it like this. The fact we got a name, Kaepernick's name, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he shouldn't even be in this.
You see where the NFL's priorities are. They think the fans are stupid and they don't care about women.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, but you know what though?
Boy.
The thing that might work in Hunt's favor is the fact that he's not the first. Think about it. Ray Rice suspended in 1 year. He doesn't get back in the NFL. Kaepernick happens. He gets suspended, or they let him go. Whatever. He's not with a team. He doesn't get back in the NFL. Reed, it took him 5 games, 4 or 5 games, whatever. Then okay, we can bring him back in. So teams might be quick to bring, because Hunt does he punched some man not too long ago, and it's just, we'll see, man. Look, we're gonna take a quick break. It's sad to talk about this. as a hot topic.
Yeah,
We'll be
it
right
is.
back.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Cat Williams, and you are listening to 3 Point Conversion Radio.
Have you been looking for a radio station that gives you sports?
I don't believe it! It's a touchdown!
Entertainment?
Are you not entertained?
And other special interest talk shows?
Well, isn't that special?
All on one app?
Yo, that's dope. What app is that?
It's the real 1100 AM app for WWE. Grab it for free in your Google Play or Apple App Store today.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Kent Bazemore from the Atlanta Hawks. You're now listening to 3 Point Conversion.
All right, we are back inside the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Championship Saturday. 3 big games. You have other championship games, but let's be real. No one's thinking about that. No one cares about that. Or those games. But we're going to start off with our nosy neighbor. Now, we all agree, without agreeing, that as a radio show, one of the nosy neighbors watches is we're watching the NCAA committee right now, the college committee. What are they going to do? H.O.?
Listen, this is almost like a gathering party at this point. One of those situations where, did y'all see the new commercial when, I can't remember, is it a Microsoft commercial or something, when the kids was waving each other, everybody was coming out the house and the kid was playing the game and he finally, this is what we doing now. We're waiting to see the football committee have the guts to leave 3 power conferences out of the playoffs, and that being the Pac-10, Big Ten, and the Pac-12. And if Alabama loses, this is when this comes up to play, because all week I've heard if Alabama lose, the eye test says that they belong in. They'll go from 1 to 4 or to possibly 3.
Right.
If you lose to a number 4 team in a close game, you're not going to drop out of the 5.
Right. And no, you're right, man.
So now we got to figure out, what are the NCAA going to do? What is the committee going to do? What are the guts? What do you have the guts to do? And you keep saying that the conference champion means something. But
look, the committee is making this up as they go along.
Right.
Because they're
sound like NBA referees.
Just like when it started, there really has been no set criteria.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, okay, the conference champion means something, but if we're going by power conferences, there are 5 of those.
Right.
So somebody's going to get left out. But what if one conference is better than the other? We had 2 from we had an interconference national championship.
Yeah.
Last year.
Right.
We had 2 of the same conference. So that means three conferences got left out.
Right.
So they're making this up as they go along. That's why some people may want 8 teams, but that means more games. So you have to convince school presidents to do that. And then that kind of makes the conference championship, the conference season, maybe not matter as much.
Well, that's what you're saying basically anyway, because Ohio State went to the 4 without winning the conference championship. Alabama did it last year. So,
and they're making these conference titles matter less and less. Like, it used to be a big deal for the Big Ten winner to go to the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
And because you won the conference. That the winning the conference was more prestigious than winning the national championship. But now it's about the national championship, and the conference championships don't matter.
Yeah, good point.
So that's the nose and neighbor, obviously. That we gathered around to see.
Right.
And we gathered around to see the college football committee once again fumble this whole thing away because they have no criteria.
None.
As far as I'm concerned.
None. I am also, I got my son for me. He's peeking in the back window. He's looking at backup quarterback Dario Mack Jr. This is UCF's quarterback. I want to see what he does. Because, and not saying that he better play well, he better not play bad or whatever. I just want to see what he does because this is a big moment for him,
Right.
They want to hang up the banner again, and for him to be, from a man to get hurt, and it's just like, this is a big moment for him. If he come in and he wins this game against Memphis, like, wow. This would be big.
It's going to be big. Shout out to Mr. Milton, who had a tragic injury, and this is going to be a big statement game here.
Yeah.
So, but I can see your point. I can see.
I just want to see what. Yeah, I just want to see what he does.
But at least he had a week to prepare this time.
Right.
He had a week to prepare, so we can roll with that.
Now, Georgia, Alabama. Georgia has. Well, Alabama's going to be here. There's a lot of Alabama fans. It's not that far. But this game here, I guess my only question is, does Georgia have any type of chance?
They are slightly mirror images of each other. Slightly. Tua being the X factor.
Right.
Alabama may have one more receiver that could possibly be a little better than Georgia's wide receiver corps. Georgia has a chance. We saw in the NFL how you can take a defensive coordinator, put him as a head coach, and you're able to, shut down their offense.
Right.
Kirby was the defensive coordinator for Alabama for years. So he understands exactly what Nick Saban is trying to do and things of that nature. But the only difference now is they running pro style.
Yeah,
offense.
that's what I'm saying. He's not
right. They're right. But so is Georgia.
Right.
Georgia, you would think that Alabama would have the better backs, but actually Georgia have the better backs, in which they could keep Alabama off the field. You have Swift, Heron, Holyfield. You got a stable of backs. The reason they lost to LSU this year because they didn't commit to the run. They just started running the ball. Mm-hmm. So that was a big mistake. And obviously, if you can run the ball against Alabama, and that's the whole key. But the thing about it is, Georgia showed you last year, if you can get outside like Sony Michel did last year, you can possibly get some good yards against Alabama. So
it's just that, I mean, we can say that Georgia can keep them off the field, but at the same time, Alabama don't need but a minute, if that, to score, and they've shown that. To me, that's the big issue: is can they stop the big play? If Georgia can stop the big play, then that'll be fine. We've seen the last few games, LSU did a good job until Alabama had the big plays.
Mm-hmm.
Auburn did a good job until Alabama had the big plays. So the key is big plays, not really keeping them off the field, but can you stop the big plays? And I think if Georgia can do that, then they have a chance. But other than that, I don't think so. Now, quickly, Ohio State, they play Northwestern. Then we have Oklahoma, Texas. I really believe that it depends on how bad Ohio State has to murder Northwestern, which we believe, but you just never know. And Oklahoma, Texas has to be close, a very close game for Ohio State to get in. How do Ohio State get in?
They need Oklahoma to lose. And they need Alabama to win.
Right. I mean, of course. And if Alabama wins, I'm thinking that's it. Because if Georgia wins, of course, Alabama's going to
falling to four at worst.
But I'm saying if Alabama wins, you think Oklahoma has to lose? That's the only way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like a lot of people would say, well, the Big 12 doesn't play any defense. Well, Ohio State didn't play any defense either. They scored 62 against Michigan,
right.
but they still gave up 39. That's still a lot of points.
And gave up 39 to Michigan.
Yeah. And the NCAA mad at Ohio State. Let's not poo-poo that situation.
But I think, though, that they want Urban to stay.
Who was they?
College football. I think they want him to stay at Ohio State because it makes it was a better season because
we still want that Nick Saban Urban Meyer matchup. We haven't gotten that. It's been Nick Saban and Dabo, but I think we haven't had that Nick Saban Urban Meyer matchup since Urban was at Florida.
Why would you go out like that? Think about it. You go out like that.
Well, we had it actually a couple of years ago, but we still those are the two star coaches,
and it was great. And think about it, them two go at it for the national championship, or it'll be for the first matchup. But them two go at it. People don't like Ohio State for what they did. Then you still got a lot of people don't like Alabama. This is a dream matchup for college football. Everybody's watching this game.
Yeah, and the thing about that is how much is Urban Meyer really into this if he's talking about or there are reports of him stepping down, retiring, and health things.
But let's be real, he wants to beat Nick Saban. Anytime he can beat Nick Saban, and then if he can win a championship, winning. Look, when he was acting like that in Florida, they were losing. They couldn't win anymore.
Well, let's do this. Ask G, who's the only invited team into the four from the Big 12?
Oklahoma.
There it is. That's the only team that they and truth be told, the hot hand is with Oklahoma. The you talking about offense and more offense. Maybe not a lot of defense, but people want to see offense these days.
Right.
So,
all right, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Hey, this is Gary Payton. Y'all listen to 3 Point Conversion Radio. It's the bomb.
What's up, world? This is Vincent J, aka the Fantasy Guru, and here are your fantasy facts heading to week 13. This late in the fantasy season, there's truly just one good defense, and that's the Chicago Bears. One defense I like this week is the Seattle Seahawks. They're playing at home against the San Francisco 49ers, who are playing their second consecutive road game. Quarterback Nick Mullins looks like a third-string quarterback last week against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers had 4 sacks and 2 interceptions, so the Seahawks should receive similar numbers. One defense I'll bench this week is the Los Angeles Chargers. They're playing on the road against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are averaging 35 points at home this year. And in those home games, Big Ben has only 4 sacks and 3 interceptions, so definitely consider picking up another team defense. My sleeper pick this week is Kansas City Chiefs running back Spencer Ware, who's probably the hottest free agent pick for this weekend. Due to the unfortunate incident to starting running back Kareem Hunt, who more than likely will be suspended for a while, Ware should be picked up immediately in all leagues. The Chiefs are playing on the road against the Oakland Raiders, so Ware should have a great game. Get him now. Now, if you want to check out more fantasy facts and my ahs and ahs, make sure you continue to follow me on the web at the 3 Point Conversion.
Tune your radio.
Tune in.
Now.
You can tune into this radio station on any smartphone or tablet.
iPhone,
Android,
BlackBerry,
Nokia,
Samsung,
Windows phones,
or whatever you have. Download the free TuneIn app from your phone or tablet's app store.
Tune in with music, sports, news, and comedy.
From over 70,000 radio stations around the world, including this Beasley Broadcast Group station. Check it out at tunein.com
or your app store.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Man, what is going on with the Western Conference in the NBA?
I don't want to say it has weakened. I think it's just become more balanced. I guess they're saying it's weakened in some way.
Yeah.
It's become balanced.
You think it's weakened, or do you think it's just it just seems weird? I mean,
I don't. The thing about it is, when you look at the standings, the notable teams are all out of the playoff hunt. Houston, San Antonio, the usual suspects. Mm-hmm. If the playoffs started today, they out. They're not even in the playoffs.
Right.
And so you got teams like the Clippers, Denver, Portland at least finished third last year, and a great game last night against Denver. Portland and Denver had an awesome game. McCullough missed the shot at the buzzer. So it's I think it's those young teams that has grown like a Denver. And we talked about the wins of the Clippers. I mean, they just got balance.
But I think in the long run, we all know if you don't have a superstar, you don't win in the playoffs. I don't care how balanced you are.
Yeah.
The difference is, though, with Denver, I don't think that Murray is a superstar, but Jokic, that dude right there, that's a superstar.
Yeah.
But Denver is so deep, man. And they still ain't played Isaiah Thomas.
Michael Porter Jr.
And Michael Porter Jr.
And Will Barton is out.
Right. And, I mean, they just keep bringing them in and they flow together.
Yep.
So, I think that Denver, I think they're a good team. I think they was a team that everybody was expecting to win. LA Clippers, nah, I don't know. I think you see more of Doc's coaching being more impactful just because you don't have that bullheaded star.
Jerry West.
And then, of course, Jerry West, But he didn't really get anybody, though.
That's what he does.
Well, no, the trades that he made.
Yeah, that's what he. Go ahead.
Trading Blake Griffin,
right?
Letting DeAndre Jordan walk, then bringing in Gortat, Boban, and Tobias Harris, Avery Bradley, Patrick Beverly. Like you brought in a lot of good players, so you're not so top heavy. The issue with those Clippers teams, with their big three, their starting lineup, they really had the best starting five in the league.
Right.
As far as points scored and efficiency and all that. But on the bench, after Jamal Crawford.
Yeah, it's a wrap. But see, now they got, and then don't forget about Shea Gildress drafting him.
Yeah, he's starting.
Nice.
I think they're 11-2 or 10-2 since they started him.
And the thing about it is, it almost sort of puts you in the mindset of what Danny Ferry did for the Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
He released all of the top heavy money, but brought in guys that I can just piece together and just make a good team and say, Doc, we don't want you to be the GM, just coach.
Yeah,
and that's basically what's been going on.
Right.
Because we didn't know if Avery Bradley, because he got hurt last year, we didn't know if he was going to actually come back. Then we talked about Lou Williams coming off the bench. You got the best six man in the league. I mean, so you decent. I don't know if, I guess, even in the fourth quarter, the six man is your really go-to guy.
And then, remember, this is a track record. He did this to L.A., of course. He did it with Memphis, and he did it with Golden State. So, and that's why I thought that's why I thought LeBron was going to the Clippers. But when they got West, it's about to go up.
Now, this is the question. Does this make this more attractive for Kawhi to go to the Clippers?
It does. It has to.
You see what I'm saying?
It has to. But Kawhi might, the way Toronto is playing.
He might stay, or he might stay in the East, because why would you? It would be the easier, not the easier. Well, yeah, an easier path if he stayed. If
the Clippers are in first place today, and they maintain and could sustain,
and then, but also if he were to go to a team like the Clippers, somebody on the Clippers has to go. Like Tobias Harris might have to go.
Okay,
I holla.
Okay,
I holla.
Holla, smoke bomb, peace.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So, do you think he would?
But,
if you switch them out, do you think he would fit in?
But why does he have to go? Because he'll be a free agent.
Well, they'll let him walk then. I mean,
but he's saying he can't be there.
Yeah, I don't see them playing together.
Okay, I can feel that because the money, Tobias already turned down the money.
Yeah,
because he turned down the contract. Right. So if you're going to give Kawhi,
the key is though you have to keep Lou Williams. If they can keep Lou,
but he already signed for the next couple of years, I think.
Right. So I'm saying if they keep him for the next 2 to 3 years, then Clippers could be something. Now, even with Houston, the teams that are losing, Houston, Golden State, like Houston coming into last night, I think they lost last night too. No, they beat San Antonio.
Yeah, they blew beat San Antonio
crap out of San Antonio. Yeah. But coming into last night, they were 5 games out of first, and had the second worst record in the West.
They was in 12th place.
But was 5 games out of, really? I don't know. Do you think, Chris Paul's been out for the last few games. I don't think they've played healthy. The Carmelo saga, we don't, that might have something to do with it. But then also you look at Golden State. Do you look at both of those teams and say, what's wrong with them, or is it like, you know what, they're going to be there somewhere towards the end?
At some point, you just still got to say it's a young team, and this just is the roller coaster of just being in the NBA. The roller coaster that you're going to see, the up and downs and things of that nature. But in crunch time, I think these teams, especially Golden State, you see them come up because obviously you're playing without the person who actually stirs the drink, which is Steph Curry.
Mm-hmm.
So, now Houston, on the other hand, that's a different story. Chris Paul stays hurt, which he's making $40 million stealing. But, that's just a whole nother thing. If he plays, it seems to be that they are good or they win. But when he's out and you expect him to at least be out at some point, even in the playoffs, then that's a whole different story. So I think but they did bring the defensive coach back out of retirement. Who they had last year. Some way they fleeced the wife to let him come back.
They definitely spelled the end for Carmelo because that was Carmelo's coach in Denver.
Oh, yeah.
And D'Antoni coached him in New York, and that didn't work. So that kind of spelled the end for him. But I think with Houston, they have to I guess they need to figure out their rotation as far as, I know D'Antoni only goes he plays 7.5 players. And so that's the starting lineup of Eric Gordon, and they might play one other guy, but that can be anybody. So when they figure that out, I think they'll start to play better.
Mm-hmm.
But they need to figure that out soon before the season gets away from them.
Yeah, that's true. And a lot of people said that with Carmelo, they said he's good in the locker room, and the fans love him. I know New York love him. They still won't let him go. But, do you think it's over? Because it was a report, what's the man, Brian, Windhorst? He was saying that he think that he's been hearing that they're saying that Carmelo might have played his last game, and that was he's hearing from other GMs. I don't believe that's true.
If you follow certain people on social media, this has been reported as saying that this is a way that they're trying to get Carmelo out of the league. The NBA is just trying to just get him out.
But why?
And that's the big question.
Is that the? But then Brian came back and said he don't believe that's true though. He said that's what he's hearing, but he don't believe it's true because I don't. Why would they be wanting? Why do they want him out when?
Why won't nobody sign
him? I don't know.
Well, Houston hasn't released him yet.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Right, because
they're holding.
I don't know what they're holding on to him for.
Trying to see if they get something.
You ever heard of this? We go hold on to you till you just say, "Look, I'm done."
Remember what happened to Keyshawn Johnson playing with the Bucks,
right?
To where he just got sent home. That's what happened to Carmelo.
Right.
Like he's still on the team. They're not going to cut you.
Nick
just can't play.
Anderson too, for Orlando. Remember?
Having a TO.
Yeah.
Like we're just going to hold on to you, but you can't play for anybody though.
Think the Knicks did it to Jalen Rose.
No, they did to Stephon Marbury.
Well, yeah.
So you think that's what's going on? Because I think a lot of teams would need him. They need scoring.
It's sad that it has to even come to this, to be honest with you. Maybe maybe it's something that happened in New York, which is where the NBA office is, that ticked them off.
Right.
I couldn't tell you why the NBA is trying to move him out of the league, but to me, that's the way it's looking.
Right.
So.
All right. So look, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with our Stop It moment. Be right back.
You're tuned into WWE AM 1100.
The opinions expressed during the sponsored programs on this station are strictly those of the program hosts, guests, and callers and are not necessarily those of Beasley Broadcast Group, this station, its staff, other advertisers, or agencies.
Did you know that the Real 1100 has a Facebook page? Visit facebook.com/Real1100 to keep up with your favorite shows, videos, photos, upcoming events, and more. That's facebook.com/Real1100, giving you more of the real.
The real.
Hey, what's going on, sports fans? It's the 2018 Battlegrounds champion, Damian Adams, from The Real Deal with Damian Adams. Now, you can catch my show weekly on the 3-Point Conversion station on Spreaker Radio. But for right now, I'm doing what everybody else should be doing, and that's listening to Mr. Controversy and The Intellectual in the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge.
No mercy. Don't let up on him. Go hard on him, Mr. Controversy. Hit him with the stop it button.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. It's time we always like to thank everyone who is listening live or listening as a podcast, who supports the 3-Point Conversion as a whole, the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge, family and friends. We appreciate you all. It means a lot to us. It definitely does. So we appreciate you, and please keep on doing it. And it is time for the most infamous, the most famous Stop It segment. Let's get it.
Stop, hey. Stop, 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 stop. Stop it! Stop it, stop it.
S-T-O-P, new word, I-T. Stop it!
Stop it. Get some help.
All right, H.O., it's on you.
All right, make this quick. G, close your ears, close your eyes, and all this other kind of stuff. But my stop it goes out to all of the Dallas Cowboys fans that thought the Super Bowl was Thursday.
Stop it.
Okay, you beat New Orleans 13-10. It was not the Super Bowl, though. I mean, you didn't get a ring for this. Just a W.
But you know what? It's a lot of New Orleans fans that will talk a lot of. Shout out to Damian Adams. He's not one of them. But it's a lot of New Orleans fans think they've won a Super Bowl already. And I think that had a lot to do with it. Because the funny thing is, before the game, Dallas fans were nervous. I've never seen Dallas fans that nervous. Like, well, I don't know. I mean, what y'all think? Dallas fans don't talk like that. Usually we hear we got 6 rings or something.
You ain't been to the playoff in 22 years. Come on.
As a sensible Dallas Cowboys fan, I thought we were going to lose the game.
See? And all of them thought that.
But I wasn't like super nervous about it. But it's just like, we'll probably lose this one. But we can still win the division because 8-8 could probably win the division.
But
so
usually, though, Dallas is, they were like, I don't.
Did you find that a lot of Cowboys fans that you saw on social media was like, okay, it felt like they won the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm like,
really? This is.
I mean, it was good. I mean, we won by a field goal, and it was both teams are playing 3 games in 12 days.
Right.
So, I mean, it was going to be a struggle fest anyway. Right. So, basically, whoever turned the ball over least or whatever.
So, quickly, my stop it moment is goes to Big Ben. You know, after they lost to Denver on a late interception at the goal line, he threw. Came out on, I think it was on the radio, and he was saying that Antonio Brown has to come, basically saying he needs to come flat after getting undercut by Chris Harris. Then he criticized the play call, saying maybe we should have went to Juju. This all in like one breath, went to Juju Smith-Schuster. Then he talked about the rookie James Washington, as far as, you know, he needs to have his head in the game. So when he caught the backlash about, you know, being very critical to your players, you kind of threw the pick. He said, I think I've earned that right.
Stop it.
CG's face. Bruh.
He's basically saying it's not his fault.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't do anything wrong. You threw an interception to a defensive tackle. Something went wrong.
Something went wrong. I think he has 12 interceptions, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. After that, you don't earn the right to do that. I don't care what you've done in your career. Nah.
Stop it.
Just fess up to it.
Accountability.
Mm-hmm. All right, so that ends our Stop It segment. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Let me break down to y'all what's so dope about the 3-point conversion. First of all, everybody is a fan of the game first. Second of all, everybody is a student of the game second. And third of all, we're the average sports fan just like everybody else. We're not coming in here, walking with our nose tipped high, acting snooty, acting brand new. This is a grassroots organization. Bar none. The 3-point conversion, where fans' opinions matter. Be sure to visit the website www.the3pointconversion.com. Get your fix, get your articles, multimedia, and everything else that you, as a sports fan, need. So again, the3pointconversion.com. It's where it's at, man, where fans' opinions matter. Whether it's quick hits, what's on my mind, the infamous Stop It segment, you got to be there every Saturday morning on the 3-Point Conversion station for the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge hosted by Mr. Controversy. Get him!
All right, we are back inside the 3 Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Quick. What you got going on this weekend?
Well, it's raining, and Georgia. It's all about Georgia and Alabama.
Right.
You know, I'm rooting for Georgia, not because we're in the state of Georgia, but because I need to see the committee sweat. I need to see them sweat this out.
G, what you got? I already know what you got. It's raining too?
No naps.
Ever since he got this new apartment, G don't take naps anymore.
It's loud over there.
Oh. Like that Geico commercial. What you got going on?
I don't know. I'll probably go see a movie or something. I haven't seen Creed yet.
I haven't seen the first one yet. So.
Oh yeah?
Nah, I need to look at it.
Wow.
I'm gonna go home and probably take a nap and then watch some football. I'm sleepy. Spend time with the fam. Also, so all right. Got a special guest. He's really no guest. He's the Battlegrounds champion, who I've asked to go head to head, and he said he don't want to do it. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't. He didn't say that. I'm not ready for him yet, so I got to get warmed up. But none other than my man from The Real Deal with Damian Adams and one of the writers, analysts, reporters from the 3 Point Conversion, Mr. Damian Adams. What's going on, Damian?
Hey, what's going on, fellas? You know, it's my favorite sports show, so I'm always happy to be a guest on the show. How y'all doing?
Good, man. Appreciate you.
What up?
Hey, it's a big match going on tonight. Like we talked about championship week. We talked about Kareem Hunt, NFL. But what might be even bigger is this boxing match. We have Deontay Wilder facing one of the greatest names in boxing history, Tyson Fury. Damian, what's going? So my first question is, man, who has more to lose in this fight between Wilder or Fury?
They both have a lot to lose. They're coming in undefeated, so you know boxers love to have that 0 on the back end of their record. So they both can lose that tonight. The WBC title, which is held by Wilder, is on the line, and plus the winner of this fight should be the next opponent. I have to put emphasis on should be the next opponent for Anthony Joshua. And that could be a huge money day. So for your question, I'm going to go with Deontay Wilder, who has more to lose because his belt's on the line. And he's been trying to get Anthony Joshua to fight him for years now. It's been a couple of years. He's been trying to chase down Anthony Joshua. And beating a name like Tyson Fury would put more pressure on Anthony Joshua and Anthony Joshua's team to make the fight happen. And because Anthony Joshua is such a big name overseas, the money is crazy over there for boxing. So if Deontay Wilder can finally put that pressure on Anthony Joshua to make the fight happen, that could be more than $20 million in Deontay Wilder's pocket for his next fight if he gets Joshua. But if he loses to Fury, that fight never happens. So he has a lot on the line tonight.
Hey, Damian, this H.O., man. I do have a question about the money piece. This will be possibly a $14 million purse for Mr. Wilder. Does that put any added pressure as he's trying to go up the ranks to get to that $20 million purse with Anthony Joshua?
Puts a little pressure. You know, it's a lot more than he's ever made before. I believe his biggest before this, I want to say, was $3 million.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely putting him in a different bracket and a lot more attention on him.
Right.
So he has to perform. And if he doesn't perform, like I said earlier, then that fight with Joshua doesn't happen, and that those other big paydays that could happen afterwards don't happen. So it's a lot of pressure on Wilder tonight to come through and show what he's made of.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, we're here live with Damian Adams. You can follow him everywhere. Man, if y'all don't watch his videos he puts on social media, whether they win or lose, he's a New Orleans Saints fan. Hilarious. Damian Adams, the real deal with Damian Adams. All right, so sticking with boxing, of course, we have another fight next week. We have Jose. I always mess up his name, but Pedraza. We have him going up against Vasyl Lomachenko. Hey, people, we talking about this Wilder fight, but can you see Lomachenko losing?
It'll be tough to see him losing. He has really shown very little weaknesses in his fights. His last bout, he did go down. He did get knocked down in his last fight, but he was going against a much longer fighter, a bigger fighter. And this fight, he's going back down to his natural weight class to fight Pedraza. But Pedraza is very technically sound. I got to see Pedraza in person in his last fight here in Glendale, Arizona. I was covering it for the 3-point conversion, and he went against Ray Beltran. And in that fight, he was able to dominate Ray Beltran, who was a hometown favorite, someone who's known as a tough guy in boxing. Pedraza was able to dominate him with his technique. Now, Lomachenko, he won't be able to do that same thing against. Lomachenko is a double gold medalist in the Olympics. He's someone who has an amateur background that is just untouched. So when he came into professional boxing, he was already ready to go. And in this bout, you're going to see two fighters who are going to be, it's going to be a test match of two people who you're really going to see the sweet science at work of him trying to find out what's going on in the other fighter's head, counter punches, footwork. If you're really a fan of boxing, this fight next week is something that you should watch. And it's on ESPN, so it's going to be something that you can watch easily.
Cool. Damian, my last question for you, sir, is it seems as if boxing hasn't been on the radar nationally for a lot of people and big boxing fans. It looks like boxing is trending down. It's been trending down for a minute. And with Wilder fighting, it kind of puts, the target and the eye back on boxing is sort of trending forward. But can you give us a name of the next up-and-coming guy that people really need to really pay attention to as far as boxing is concerned?
Yeah, there's definitely a few names out there of people that you should be paying attention to. When it comes to up-and-coming, the first name that comes to mind is Shakur Stevenson. He is very young, 21 years old. He's 9-0 right now with 5 knockouts. He's someone who has an Olympic background. He won the silver medal in 2016 for USA. And he's a super featherweight division. Very exciting fighter. He's southpaw, talks a little trash. He's not scared to mix it up. He wants to knock you out. So he has a fan-friendly style that you would like. So I think he's somebody who's under the Top Rank umbrella. So whenever he fights, it's going to be on ESPN. He's very accessible for all fans. Another fighter that's not up and coming, he's already arrived, but a lot of people might not know his name, is Regis Prograis. He's someone who's from my neck of the woods in New Orleans, and he's right now the number 1 ranked super lightweight contender. And because Terrence Crawford left that division and had all those titles are pretty much vacant right now. And he's someone who's in line to pretty much take that mantle that Crawford left behind. And he's another very powerful fighter, someone who's a southpaw as well. Very exciting, power in both hands, wants to mix it up with you. Very smooth style as well. Someone who you watch him in the ring, you're like, okay, I see how he just has that smoothness to him that you'll like, that really attracts fans. Those are the first 2 names that come to mind. There's other fighters out there that people just, Errol Spence Jr. in the welterweight division is just a monster. There's so many fighters right now. I don't think boxing is really trending downward. I think here in the USA, we tend to only pay attention to the big names. But there's so much talent in boxing right now that if you're watching any top rank events on ESPN, somebody that the 3-point conversion covers, you'll be able to see all these up-and-coming fighters. So many great fighters out there right now. But those 2 names in particular are 2 that I think people should pay attention to.
Gotcha.
All right. There you have it, my man, Damian Adams. You can follow him on social media, Twitter, IG, Instagram at The Real Deal WDA. And also, like I said, on Facebook. And follow him and follow his show, The Real Deal with Damian Adams on the 3-Point Conversion station, the iHeartRadio. So appreciate you, man. I'll be checking in with you tonight, man, to see, get your thoughts and everything and your round by round and analysis. So appreciate you, man. Have a great day.
Y'all too, man. Appreciate the invite.
All right.
No problem. All right, we're going to take a quick break and we will be right back.
Hey, I'm Diana Taurasi from the Phoenix Mercury, and you're listening to the 3-Point Conversion Radio.
The 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge.
During a pickup basketball game last week, after a hard foul, one man decided to call the police.
Wait, what?
The guy who called the police, he's like, well, he hit me. It was like a blindside pick or something like that. The other guy's like, hey, I just made a basketball play, okay?
This is going to be water cooler talk for the next 6 months at the police station.
Oh, my God. This is a Christmas party story. Todd, can you tell that story again?
The 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge airs every Saturday at 10 a.m. on The Real 1100.
What's up, man? It's Meta World Peace. Shout out to the 3-Point Conversion Radio.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. It's the weekend injury report. It's not your typical injury report where we're just, giving, what's going on with such and such. And he's going to have a sprained ankle. He's going to be out. No, we're talking because it might affect your fantasy lineup or it might just affect your fanhood because you're a fan of this team or this player. And none other than my man, Dr. Donald Fowler, orthopedic for Ortho Atlanta. And this man, it's funny because this man, usually you don't have, you think doctors, if you don't know any doctors or anything, you think, okay, they just into their medicine and their field. But he knows sports, all sports and every sport. So how's it going, sir?
Oh, it's good. Good to be here. And yeah, I know medicine and sports and pretty much nothing else. So I guess I got two things.
Good.
So.
That's what's up. That's good. So let's get with it, man. First of all, it's funny how we talked about Melvin Gordon last week.
Yeah.
And you told us to play him. And I had some people who were actually like, I don't know, man. I said, look, Dr. Fowler came in and said, play him. He's good. It's been lingering. And I told him what Coach Lynn said anyway, as far as, hey, running backs usually sort around this time.
Right.
Then he gets hurt.
Yep.
Now he has a sprained MCL. He gave us 20 points in fantasy, and then, he helped the team Chargers win. But my question is, with an MCL injury, I think they said 2 to 3 weeks. How long does that normally take? Because you got some fans. Playoffs starting in fantasy.
Yeah,
So
no, they do. And so, I think if you played him, you at least got the 20 points. From the way he got hurt, it looked like even if he didn't have some kind of lingering issue, he probably would have sprained his MCL based on the way his leg kind of whipped up like that on that tackle. Good news is MCL is 98 times out of 100. They don't need surgery. He's not going to need surgery in this. As far as playing, it tends to be at least 2 or 3 weeks. Full healing for an MCL is probably closer to 6 weeks, to be honest. But usually it's healed enough in that 2 to 3 weeks that with the brace, you're pretty safe to go out there and play again. So
okay.
Duke fan, Dookie all the way. Glad you're here. Listen, Stephon Diggs. They got a big game this week.
Mm-hmm.
Been questionable with a knee, and I guess this is getting close to fantasy football playoffs and things of that nature. How effective could he be if he plays? And because they probably need him to play against the Patriots.
Yeah.
But can he be as effective because you know who Minnesota also has on the other side?
Yeah, Thielen. So, and this one hits close to home. I got him in 2 of my 3 leagues. So I think he will be effective. He practiced, they said, a limited fashion on Friday. I think they were just trying to keep his reps down. He said on Thursday, the day before, that he's definitely going to play. You know how it is when players say they're going to play. They're not technically in charge.
Right.
I think he will play. I think he'll be effective. Like you said, I think he'll need to be effective against the Patriots. That offense is really Thielen and Diggs, 1A and 1B. I don't truly think one is better than the other. They're both great in their own sense, and he gets double-digit targets every single week in and week out. So I think you got to play him. So,
all right, and once again, we're here live with Dr. I would say Mr. Dr. Fowler. I guess I can't call him that. Mr. Dr. Fowler, Donald Fowler from Ortho Atlanta, and we're talking injuries and how it would affect your team or your fantasy team. AJ Green came out and said he's playing. We talked about him a couple of weeks ago, and he sat out, but he's saying he's playing. How long do you have to wait till a turf toe is 100%, or do you have to wait till it's 100%?
Yeah, and like you said, we talked a little on this a couple weeks ago. You don't have to wait till it's 100%. I don't know if it'll probably be truly 100% until after the season when he really gets a chance to rest. So I think he's going to play. I don't think that's a question. I do worry a little bit about his effectiveness, especially with now a backup quarterback coming in to run their offense as well, who's not proven. You're going up against a pretty good defense with the Broncos. So, it depends on who else you have on your roster. I mean, if you're looking at him versus, no offense, someone like Anthony Miller, I'd probably play Green. But I think it depends on who else you got. I wouldn't expect necessarily an 18, 19-point performance from him, but you might be able to get hopefully 10 points.
Okay. And you know what? With him, it seems like Boyd plays better. It's kind of want to take it off the record, off where we're going with the show. But do you agree, fantasy-wise, even just period, Boyd plays better when Green is on the field. When Boyd is the number one guy, he doesn't.
Of course, yeah, he draws the double coverage and gives Boyd one-on-one, so he can exploit that. Yeah. So I think it actually probably helps Boyd, kind of. I think maybe like you're alluding to, that AJ Green is going to be back out on the field, even if he's not truly 100%. He's still going to draw attention from the defense and open up a little more green for Boyd.
Yeah, exactly. Last question for you here, Doc. J.J. Watt, questionable knee, 11 and a half sacks this year, coming off an injury from last year. They're going up against Cleveland. If he plays, how bad could it be for him, knowing that he has to rush the passer with a knee injury, but also knowing that they're also on an 8-game winning streak?
Of course, yeah. And
they probably need this game and for them to continue this winning streak.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously J.J. Watt's, a tough dude. He had that tibia fracture that he came back from. So I think they're trying to be cautious with him a little bit. They're coming off a Monday night game, short week. I think he's going to be out there. I think he'll be effective, certainly.
We talking about a pitch count? Maybe
maybe they limit his snaps a little bit. I don't think a lot of people, at least in fantasy, play individual defensive players. I know there's some leagues like that. Most of the time it's team defense. But if you're IDP kind of league, maybe take note. But I think he will be out there. Maybe just with a snap count to a degree.
Yeah.
All right. And even if you've been a fan, like you're a Houston Texans fan, do you worry about that? You want him out because he's not just a sack master.
No, it's
makes
a heart,
plays.
Yeah,
he's the heart of
heart
the
and
defense.
heart and soul.
Right.
That
Absolutely.
Team. So,
Even with the team defense, a couple of sacks or a sack could help the defense.
Of course.
Or even just stopping the ball, just
pressuring the quarterback.
TFLs, you know what I'm saying? Just getting those.
Or, Baker is not 6'5".
Right.
And he has to throw over a 6'5",
he's
J.J. Watt.
Used to that, yeah. He's known for just batting balls out
That's
there.
what I'm saying. So,
Yeah,
it could be effective for a team defense. So we can rock with that.
All right, we definitely appreciate Dr. Fowler. My man, make sure if you're in the Atlanta area, make sure you check out Ortho Atlanta. It's a great place to go if you need any medical attention. I'm one of them. So, appreciate you. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
Hey, this is Brittany Griner from the Phoenix Mercury, and you listen to the 3-Point Conversion.
Have you been looking for a radio station that gives you sports,
I don't believe it! It's a touchdown!
entertainment,
Are you not entertained?
and other special interest talk shows?
Well, isn't that special?
All on one app?
Yo, that's dope. What app is that?
It's the Real 1100 AM app for WWE. Grab it for free in your Google Play or Apple App Store today.
Hi, I'm Cole Johnson of Cole Sports, and you're checking out the 3-Point Conversion. Keep it locked.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. It is time for our weekend picks. HO has been on fire when it comes to upset picks. Who you got this week, sir, for your upset?
Shout out to both of my co-hosts, Sports Superhero and Jay Smooth. I'm rocking with the Memphis Tigers this week. I think they beat UCF. First game they played, 31-30.
You think? Really?
Yep.
Come on, man.
Hey,
The backup quarterback?
I think Memphis wins.
You know what that is? You know how you on a roll and you take that safe pick? Like, it's still considered an upset but you, come on.
Bro, UCF, listen, they even when the quarterback went out last week, they still had to play.
Yeah, true, but I'm just saying 31-30, like you said. That's
because Memphis know how to play him. That's with the starting quarterback.
right, my point. So with a backup.
But they was in Memphis.
Yeah.
So
okay.
they was in Memphis. I mean, Memphis not a bad. They know who to get up and play.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what? Memphis, what's their record?
Like 8-4?
Yeah, so, I mean, they done lost 4 games. UCF ain't lost. They haven't lost yet.
I'm going to give you a two for one. I'm going to say first, I got Texas upsetting Oklahoma. And also,
talking about me. Texas beat them already.
Yeah, but that was back then. Texas was hot.
Golly. Did you hear that?
Then the next one, it was upset then too. But then the next one, you know what? I'm gonna go for it, man. I think I say Detroit gonna upset St. Louis.
St. Louis.
I mean, not St. Louis, but L.A. I'm sorry, L.A. They're gonna upset L.A.
Oh, okay.
They always play well at home. They always play well against good teams, and they always play that team where you just don't expect, and Detroit just plays well. Like it's time for them to win. They beat Carolina that time, lost a couple of games. Now it's time for them to get another upset, and I think they upset the Rams.
Should have asked Doc, was Kerryon Johnson playing this week?
Nah, they said he out.
Oh, he's out?
Yeah, they said he's out.
It's going to be a little tough.
Who's your counterfeit team?
Texas.
Okay. Yeah. So why is that an upset if this they counterfeit, right?
Yeah. They
right.
They beat Kansas last week.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even remember. They barely beat Kansas last week, and Kansas has a fired coach. Maybe Texas is looking ahead.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the thing about this is that I think they got up for the Red River Shootout against Oklahoma earlier in the year, and I just don't think they've been up and down, and that's why I'm making them a counterfeit team. They've been so up and down.
It's like they drew up all of that good energy on that one game against Oklahoma.
Yeah,
and spent it all, and it was after that it was like
exactly. So I just think that they counterfeited at this particular point. They 9-3.
They're not good.
Yeah, they 9-3, and I just think Oklahoma puts up big numbers today against them. They playing in Jerry's World.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, yeah.
So I have Ohio State counterfeit because I feel like Ohio State got up for that Michigan game. I feel like it's like Urban has Harbaugh in his back pocket, and he knows that you can't beat me. I don't care what you do. It's almost like big brother, little brother, And I think that's why they got up. Man, we hadn't seen Ohio State play that well since midway of the season last year, maybe, if that. So I just think they're counterfeit. They're not that good. Like, they're gonna probably mess around and win this game 17-13 or something like that. So I got Ohio State. It's like, bruh, so I got them as a counterfeit team. All right, G.
You know how you just have that good feeling for a pick?
Do I feel lucky?
Yeah, that's this segment. It's time for Over Under with The Intellectual and Mr. Controversy, only on the 3-Point Conversion.
All right, so this is Over Under, where we'll look at some NFL games more specifically and look at some prop bets that you might want to take part in. All right, so this first one, we know that Blake Bortles was benched along with the offense coordinator being fired. So hard to expect anything from the Jacksonville Jaguars offense this week. They'll be playing the Colts, and Cody Kessler will be starting, who was a career 0-8 as a starter. So the total passing yards for Cody Kessler has been set at 235, and the Colts have allowed fewer than 205 in their last two games, and Kessler has only thrown for 236 twice in his career. So over or under 235 passing yards for Cody Kessler.
Is this for this one game?
For this one game.
2 games combined.
Just one. Just one game. This time.
Man.
I'm going under.
I think they might run a wide receiver reverse and he throw it to Kessler or somebody. I think the wide receiver might get more yards than Kessler in this game.
Wow.
And you know what? Real quick, that's horrible that the fact that they bench you for an 0-8 starter.
And your starting running back is suspended.
But you get benched.
Yeah.
Are they trying to get Zion? I'm just playing. Go ahead, man.
All right, so Mr. Controversy, your team, the Bears.
Hey, be careful. Be careful.
No, this isn't bad. So Eddie Jackson was named Defensive Player of the Month for November. He has scored 3 touchdowns this year. 2 of them coming in the last 2 weeks. So the over-under for his total touchdowns this season is at 3.5. So do you think he has 3 this year? So do you think he gets one more defensive touchdown this year?
Yeah, he's getting one against Eli though. Yeah, he's getting one against Eli. I got him getting one tomorrow.
Yeah, he's a ball hog.
Hey, he's gonna break that record.
He's a
for
ball
the most
hog.
defensive touchdowns in his career. Watch.
Yeah, he must have been a wide receiver in high school or something. I mean, running back or something. Because once he gets his hands on it,
it's a wrap.
Yeah, he get to that end zone.
But the fact that he gets his hands on it, that's it.
Yeah. My cousin would say he must be an alcoholic because as soon as he touched the ball, he get into that package store.
All right, and the last one here is Andrew Luck has thrown for 3 or more touchdowns in 8 consecutive games. And he'll be going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars without Jalen Ramsey. So over or under 2.5 touchdowns
over
for Andrew Luck.
Easy.
Where they playing at?
They are playing in...
Man, they can play it Big Easy.
Well, yeah, it might not even matter.
Yeah.
I think under. I say under. I think
they're playing in Jacksonville.
I think Jacksonville gonna surprise them. Hey, to throw touchdowns, you got to get the ball off. I don't see nobody. I don't see anyone on that defensive line out. I think they'll get pressure on them. I say under. I think Jacksonville wins this game.
Yeah, I'm going over.
All right.
What you think, G?
Well, I think not having Ramsey might not make that much of a difference. The issue has been the offense. So basically,
right, the
offense would have to have this incredible game
with Cody Kessler.
With Cody Kessler.
Wow. Okay, you asking for a lot.
That's for Jacksonville to even.
They asking
win.
for a lot,
and we've seen with the play call, even though with that game where Leonard Fournette and Shaq Lawson got ejected, the ball was still ruled. It was still ruled a catch inbounds. They have it 1st and goal on the 1. Mm-hmm. They ended up with nothing.
Right. Yeah, that's
pretty bad.
So that shows how inept this offense has been. And now you're going to go to a guy who's never won a game as a starter.
Yeah. Nathan Peterman Jr.
Can I change my pick?
It's not too late.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. That's going to wrap up Weekend Picks and Over and Under. We'll be right back with what's on our minds.
There's a lot going on in the world, and your world is always changing. That's why it's important to stay connected. The latest news, the latest entertainment, the newest music. If it's in the air or on the air, it can be in the palm of your hand, wherever you are, with the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Over 1,500 live radio stations from across the country, and over 15 million songs to create your own custom stations. Text IHR to 45495 to download the app or listen at iHeartRadio.com. Standard text and data rates apply.
What's good, family? I'm Marlon Sucker Free Jones, a Sucker Free Life LLC, and I'm locked in every Saturday to the best sports show on the planet, the 3-Point Conversion, where no team or no player is off limits. So let's talk sports, the best of the best, the worst of the worst, and everything in between. Can you dig that?
It's time to get in the mind of Mr. Controversy and the Intellectual with What's on My Mind.
All right, we are back inside the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. And it is time for What's on My Mind. And this next segment, What's on Our Mind, is brought to you, or What's on My Mind is brought to you by Sucker Free Life LLC. Make sure you live your truth for the world to see, because everyone can be sucker free. Make sure you purchase your apparel today on Facebook.com/LLC or Sucker Free Life LLC. All right. This is that part of the segment where we get to talk about what is on our mind, what is bothering us, do we understand, or what don't we understand? Hey, just let us holler. We don't vent. Men don't vent. But just get some stuff off our chest. Let me holler at you for a second. So, man, I'm watching this game. I'm watching the Bulls. They were playing San Antonio. And they had a chance. The Bulls had a ball, like 18 seconds left. Down by 1. At home. Zach LaVine has the ball. He's at, he's at top of the, he's at the 3-point line. Just dribbling, waiting to dribble out. 10 seconds come by. Wendell Carter tried to set a pick. Nah, move it away. Somebody else tried to set a pick. Nah, watch out. So I'm like, okay, oh snap. You about to draw to the hole. Maybe get fouled. Win the game. Or stop, pull up. He dribbles. 5 seconds left. Does a pump fake like he was going to shoot the ball. Dribbles and shoot a step back. 32-foot 3-point. Why? I bring this up because you start to see this more and more in the NBA. Why does every shot, whether it's a game winner at the end of the half, quarter, it has to be a dramatic 3-point shot? What happened to taking the best shot? If it's 8 seconds left, it's at the end of the quarter. Why don't I just drive, either pop for a 15-footer or go to the hole, whatever? Why do I have to dribble with 2 seconds left and do a step back, fadeaway 3-point shot? Like, what is the point of that? We see it too many times. LeBron does it. Now, I don't understand. People say, well, this is the league of Steph Curry. Steph could do that because that's his normal game. You know what I'm saying? Shoot threes. But everybody doesn't have to do that. Everything has to be dramatic, has to look good. You're down by 1. Why would a 3-pointer be the shot you take? Go ahead, G. I'm going to let you come in on this.
Because they saw Kobe do it.
And that's my thing, because they saw Kobe do it. And it's like, Kobe, Steph, whatever. It doesn't make sense to me, man. Now, I can understand if you were on the road, you were down by 2, and you're trying to win the game. That was what you was taught. Sometimes, hey, you don't want to go into overtime. Let's try to win it. We win. Hey, you hit the 3-pointer, good. If not, oh well. But not when you down by 1 at home and you got somebody you could draw past. But it seems like in the NBA, everybody want to take the dramatic shot all of the time, and it's killing me. Just watch NBA. Every time you'll see it. That's why I commend Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is probably the only person that hadn't changed his game. He still shoot maybe 4 or 5 3-pointers a game, but mainly they're like rhythm shots. Mainly what do you see? Drive and pop 15-foot shot. Maybe that's why he's always leading the scoring and top 2 player in the NBA. Because with this change in the NBA with 3-point shots, his game hadn't changed at all. But I'm just tired of the dramatic flair. Everything has to be big and ooh and ah instead of just playing basketball and not worrying about being on social media because you hit an outstanding shot. That's what's on my mind.
I guess it's on me.
Do you feel me though? Do you feel me? That's what I want to know.
Showtime at its best. Showing out is AAU on the next level.
Man, like, we too grown for this, man. Just
It's like these kids growing up. You play in the backyard and you shoot the ball and you say the name of your favorite player. They're all saying Kobe. I just feel like it's. I'm not blaming him.
No,
but I'm
you're
saying
right.
like it's the effect of
Right.
seeing him do
Yeah,
it.
it's not. Yeah.
So okay, yeah, that's the best shot for me, and it doesn't matter how you've been coached or actually what the play is.
Right.
Like I need to drive the basket. Let's see if we can get a foul, or you drive and kick it out to an open teammate for an open shot. The step back three is an awful shot.
Well, also to add to that is, am I trying to actually win the game, or am I trying to make sports something?
that's what it is. Now forget
Just
Sports
go
Center.
viral. Instagram.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm saying they Sports Center is right. It's viral. That's what it is.
I'm like, come on, bro. But yeah, that's the world we live in. So it is what it is. But I guess this is what's on my mind is, I guess you can say it's personal. So Big Ten people in the Midwest, I'm giving you the disclaimer first. It's not personal against you. I have to say that because you'll understand why. It's personal to a good friend of mine. So I get a text last week after Jim Harbaugh poo-pooed once again. And I guess this is our way of saying, Michigan, you did what we thought you would do. But 62 points put on you by Ohio State, and good friend of mine, he's from Ohio, and this is the text that he sends me after they win. Not before, but after. You know what it is. Buckeyes all the way. Big Ten, best conference in America. Get out your feelings. This is what he tells me. So, I'm a factual guy. I don't really go back and forth with folks on the tit for tat. Because I just think it's petty. We've been doing this thing for a minute now, and you all understand. We just about to give you some facts to shut it all down. So I promptly go to my facts book and send him a screenshot of this very scenario. Since 2003, the Big Ten has only one. I'm going to say that one more time. Only one championship. National championship. 2003, it was BCS, AP, and some other poll where they split it. Well, LSU and USC was the national championship. Or was the national champion. And just to cut it short, the SEC has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and if you want to count the LSU 2003 split championship with Southern Cal, that's 10! 10 national championships for the SEC in 15 years, and the Big Ten only has one. I'm going to take a line from Ben Roethlisberger. Ben from the South. I have the right to call it out like this. The ACC has more championships than you within that time span. The ACC? We still in the South, baby. Don't even really matter. So to my homeboy Rodney, don't wake up a giant. Because Holland Big Ten is the best conference. And I noticed you didn't really respond to that. So so all I gotta say is check the stat book before you say something. And that's what's on my mind.
Just want to say this. Your boy, I don't know why he did that, but how many times we got caught giving money out for players to come to the SEC? All right, let's go ahead. Let's end the show. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. Don't let me get the preaching up in here. All right, if you hear this music, you already know what it means. It is time to let you go. But before we let you go, we got a couple of shout outs. And stay tuned because you might be one of them. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Almighty God for giving me this platform, giving me this opportunity to do what I do. Still keep me grounded, still behind my corner. I don't take it lightly, man. It's a platform to get up and talk my mess, make you upset, happy, want to give me the stop it button. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you, God.
Thank you, Raphael.
And I also want to thank our sponsors, Seneca's Barbershop and Sucker Free Life LLC. Also want to thank my special guest, Damian Adams, from The Real Deal with Damian Adams and the 3-Point Conversion, and Dr. Fowler, Dr. Donald Fowler from the orthopedic from Ortho Atlanta. And I want to thank my co-host, H.O. Appreciate you, sir.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. And hey, thanks to the big man above for allowing me to get up on Saturday morning to come out the bullpen. And even in this dreary day, to get down here safe. Very appreciative of that. I even had to stop at one of my favorite spots, and they did it right, and they did not run out of almond milk this time. So shout out to the 3-Point Conversion and everybody who tuned in and listened. Shout out to the glue who holds it together, G Money, and shout out to Damian, Dr. Fowler, and all those who continue to support the 3-Point Conversion on Saturday. And make sure you tune in on Wednesday for Sports Roundtable for some more hot takes, sports, where sports and entertainment meet 7 to 9 o'clock p.m. each and every Wednesday on the Real 1100 and SRTradio.com.
And I want to thank, also want to thank God for like blessing me with, just car and everything like that. I could easily make my way over on Wednesday nights to do a certain show, but hey, I still thank God for the car. So,
so if God blessed you with a car,
why hadn't you used it?
You wasting a blessing.
Anyway, I'd like to thank my family and friends, my beautiful wife, lovely children, uncle, aunties, cousins, grandparents, godparents, play cousins, brothers and sisters. Also, I want to special shout out to D Intellectual and Crystal. Get well soon, Crystal Dayon. We miss y'all, and looking forward to you all coming back. Also, everybody who listened to the show, we appreciate you. Much love. Thanks for the support. And this weekend, love family, eat good, watch sports, let family know you love them. Till then, same time, same show, same crazy host, same sports nonsense. Will you miss me? I'm out. Peace.
Holla.
You just got done listening to the 3-Point Conversion Sports Lounge. Be sure to follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook accounts at the 3-Point Conversion. And also make sure you check out our website, the3pointconversion.com. Be sure to follow us live and listen every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern.